So, in this setting of the degenerate situation in Nikvus of the Mashiach, as we spoke last week, we have to be mechazik ourselves. Rabbi Shalom was very nice to us. He placed us in homes where we are taught Torah and Yiras Shamayim. We go to the yeshiva. Unfortunately, most of the Klal Yisrael now doesn't have this privilege. They don't know anything about Yiddishkeit. The whole weight is on us. So Rabbi Shalom looks on us the way what our behavior is, how we strengthen our Emunah, how we fight off the Yetzer which the new Yetzer the technological Yetzer Today's Yetzer is high tech. He isn't like the old Yetzer of our fathers and and grandfathers. It's with a ganzen Kayach. And we have a Meiradeke Achrayus that we are the bearers of the Emunah, and we have to pass it down the Deiros. And as we spoke about this last week, that's what Pesach is all about. Pesach is Emunah. The matzah is Meicha dem Hemnusa. And we told a story of Pesach. The inyan of Pesach is L'man tesaper b'yazne bincha u'ben bincha. As we spoke about this in the beginning of the Zman, we have a Messiah, a heritage, which is not paralleled. No other faith has that. Something which millions of Yidden saw. We saw Yetzias Mitzrayim, which culminated in Matan Torah. It was a 50-day period from Makas Becheres to Matan Torah that Rabbi Shalom appeared to us. We saw him. We saw him by Kriyas Yamsuf. Rabbi Shalom spoke to every individual Yid by Matan Torah, like it says clearly in Chumash, and it was recorded and written down in the Sefer Torah while millions of these Yidden were still alive, and this Sefer Torah was passed down, and wherever Yidden are, they still have the exact same Sefer Torah. There are small little differences in some Sefer Torahs between the Ashkenazim and the Sfardim, but really every Shevet had also tiny little differences in Inyanim that have no bearing on the Halacha. And because we dash in each ice, it could be that one Shevet will paskin from an extra Vav or an extra Yud, a different Halacha than a different Shevet. Because each Shevet has its Sha'ar B'Shamayim. There are 12 Shi'arim B'Shamayim corresponding to the 12 Shvatim. Each Shevet is a different Midah. It has a different color. Each Shevet has its stone on the Cheshen of the Kohen Gadol, a different color. Each Shevet had a flag, like Rashi says in the Seder Bamidbar. Ishal diglei bi oisais, al diglei with the flag, and the flag of each Shevet was a specific color. Each Shevet had its color, the same color as its stones on the Cheshen. So of course, two colors aren't the same. Each Shevet is different. That is the beauty of Klal Yisrael. We are multicolorful. We have all different kinds of minhagim and different kinds of mekaymis, but everyone is part of Klal Yisrael, of the 600,000 of the collective of Orishvat. So of course there are different colors. So that's why in certain inyanim the Sfardim are going to paskin different than the Ashkenazim. but only in tiny little particulars, like on a tree. The same tree which will have the same leaves or the same apples, still one apple is not exactly the same as the other apple. One leaf is not exactly the same as the other leaf, but they really are the same. Same thing as with the different minhagim, the different nuschais of Klal Yisrael. The Chassam Sofer says, "Shaiftem v'shaitem titn lecha b'chol shi'arecha l'shvatecha." It should have said, "Shaiftem v'shaitem titn lecha b'chol shvatecha b'shi'arecha." So he explains that which says in Zohar that it's really a pasuk in Yecheskel, at the end of Yecheskel, that each shevet has its sha'ar with what it goes into the Beis HaMikdash. In the Beis HaMikdash there were 12 shiurim, and then there was a 13th sha'ar for anybody who doesn't belong in any of these shiurim, like Geirim, who doesn't belong to a shevet. So just like in the Beis HaMikdash, each shevet entered through a different sha'ar, like it says at the end of Yecheskel, so the Zohar says that Bashamayim there's 12 shiurim for each of the shvatim, and the tefillos go through each one through his sha'ar. Just like by Kriyas Yamsuf also, the Yamsuf split into 12 paths, and each shevet went through each path, its specific path, because each shevet is different, but we're all the same. So therefore, each shevet must have its own shoftim, like the Gemara says, because in certain things the halacha might be a little different in one shevet than in the other. I don't want to talk about it, but I'll just say that this is a thing that everybody knows about. There's the difference of opinions about the Erev. Some paskin this way, some paskin this way. So what's the din? The din is everybody paskins like his Rabbi. That's what the Chazon Ish writes, that Amanas came, we were Mekabel the Torah, that everyone paskins like his Rabbi. And you should be able to understand that the other one has his Rabbi. There's no reason for machlaikas about this. Machlaikas comes from the Satan. The Chassam Sofer writes, I think I mentioned this to you, in the generation before him, it was as man of Mashiach. There are certain periods when it's very, very shayach that Mashiach should come. The Dayah before the Chassam Sofer had big Gedolim. They had the Noida Yehuda, they had the Pnei Yeshua, Rabbi Shel Frankfurter, the Rabbi Yonason, the Yavitz, Rabbi Yankiv Emden. It was such a Dayah, Mashiach should have come. And then there was a machlaikas between the Gedolim and a certain Indian, and because the Hamain Am started being mevaza, the Gedolim of the other side, so he says that's what was mevatel Mashiach. And we have to be careful of these things, especially now, this year, Tavshin Samach. The Satan was very successful in stirring up a machlaikas. However, he shouldn't spoil the chances of this year. Each one has his sha'al. So in small little things, everybody holds that you're not allowed to carry on Shabbos. And everybody holds that a Neirev is mutter on Shabbos. The shaila is that from this particular situation, a Neirev is applicable or not. So there's a machlaikas in the paskin. That belongs to the Rabbanim. It doesn't belong to every Tom, Dick, and Harry and to the ladies in the butcher shop that they should talk about it. So somebody who is a Yerei Shemayim should keep his mouth closed, not talk a word about it. Anyway, that's what the Chassam Sofer says. Each shevet has a sha'ar. So therefore, in certain tiny little things, there could be a difference between one shevet and another shevet, but not in the general Taryag mitzvahs and the Perushim of the Torah. We have the Taryag mitzvahs of the Torah, and we have the Sheva mitzvahs the Rabbanan, and then in addition we have all the Gzeiros that Chazal put down. That Gzeira don't ride on the horse because you might cut off a twig of a tree or something, to spank the horse, to prod the horse or something like that. So we have every Yid has that. Whatever says in the Gemara is for every Yid. And in tiny little items, there could be differences, and the Rebbe wants these differences, because each shevet is a different color. They're not the same color. They should have small little differences. But the general Torah is the same, and it passed down, starting off with millions of Yidden, and that's our strength. That's our force against all the apikasim and all the other false faiths in the world, that nobody can match what we have, a Messiah straight down from Sinai and from Yetzias Mitzrayim, which ends with Matan Torah. The Torah is based on, the Emunah is based on, because the mitzvah of Emunah is Anoich Hashem Elokecha Asher Etzeisecha Me'eretz Mitzrayim. The Rabbi Shalom showed us in Eretz Mitzrayim that he does all these nifla'is, and he's in control of the teva, and the Asara Mamares of B'rias Ha'olam were reproduced by Yetzias Mitzrayim for the 10 Makkos. The Rebbe showed us in each of the 10 Makkos, he appeared as in one of the Mamares of Mainz Breishis. We saw Mainz Breishis by Yetzias Mitzrayim. So therefore the mitzvah of Emunah is Anoich Hashem Elokecha Asher Tzeisecha Me'eretz Mitzrayim. So that the Rabbi Shalom set one day in the year and one Chag in the year, that is the purpose of that Chag is to pass down the Messiah. Talk to the children. Tell them the story of Yetzias Mitzrayim. And eat matzah, which is Emunah, as we talked about this last week. And this is what Pesach is about. V'yigata levincha. Our Ktayach, our Emunah is the Messiah. Pass it down to your children. Don't work. 7 days you don't do no malacha. No malacha at all, except Eichel Nefesh and Yom Tov. No malacha of Panas and Chalamayid. These days should be devoted to passing down the Messiah. V'yigata levincha. That Yiddishkeit should be perpetuated. Midaya l'daya emunasai. The Emunah should go from one generation to the Adaya v'daya emunasai. The Emunah should go from one generation to the other generation. And that's what Pesach is. And that's why Pesach is so stringent. As I think I mentioned this last week. There's no kares except by Pesach. Shavuos and Sukkot has no kares. Somebody does a malach on Yom Tov, is chayiv malchus. But on Pesach, if he eats chametz, is chayiv kares. Because Pesach binds us to the Rabbeinu Shalom. It's Avram Avinu's Yom Tov, the reishis of Klal Yisrael. So this is the Emunah, the Yom Tov of Emunah. Now, in our Zman, as I mentioned before, that when the Yetzer Hara, the Malach HaMavis, the Satan sees that Mashiach is about to come, he fights for his life, like a flickering flame in a candle, which bursts out in explosions when it's about to go out, because the candle wants to keep on burning. Ner Hashem Nishma Sadam, it's like a neshama. So now the Satan put all his kaiches in. He put all his kaiches into this generation. And you, Bachrim, you don't know the difference of the Friedrich generations. You're exposed to such nisyainus Hashem Yishmereinu. We're going to talk about this yet. But that's what this dial is all about. So the Rabbi Shalom told us through the Navi Habakkuk that before Mashiach will come, he says, Yidalach, I want you to concentrate on one mitzvah, the mitzvah that Pesach stands for. Tzadik b'emunasa yichye. That's what the Gemara says. B'ch Habakkuk v'amidan alachas. The Rabbi Shalom gave Tayag mitzvahs and Harsine, the Gemara says in Malchus, and the Nevi'im came and reduced them to smaller numbers, until Habakkuk came and said one mitzvah. B'ch Habakkuk v'amidan alachas. The tzaddik b'emunasa yichya. A tzaddik lives with his emunah. Have emunah, then everything will be okay. It doesn't mean chas v'shalom that we don't have to keep the other ta'ayah b'mitzvahs. It means that we can't concentrate on everything. Concentrate on one mitzvah. Preserve your emunah. Fight for your emunah. Learn your emunah. Do research in your emunah. Find out from our gedolim. Find out from the sfarim just what emunah is. Don't live emunah like something which you was born with and which you were accustomed to, and you were brought up that way, like a tradition. Emunah isn't a tradition by Yidden. Emunah is mamish our neshama. Yidden, there were times in the Yiddish history when whole communities, whole cities were Meisa Nefesh themselves. They had to go and be Mikayim over them, Skila, Sreifa, Hereg, and Chenek, all because of the Emunah. And they wouldn't budge. They kept by the Emunah. If they would have shmaded themselves, they would have been saved. No, they kept by the Emunah. So we gave our forefathers gave their lives for the Emunah. It's something that's to us more precious than life. So we have to be familiar with Emunah. We have to know what Emunah is. Learn about Emunah. There was a big tzaddik, one of the Talmidim of the Baal Shem Tov. He was called the Ulika, from the city of Ulik. So he once was Mekadosh the Levana, and he had Ruach HaKodesh, of course, and he turned around and he said, I'll tell you, my Talmidim, what I just saw Bashemayim, what they were megala to me. A neshama has to come to this world and be Mekayim, the Taryag mitzvahs. Do what it's supposed to do, and fulfill its mission. And if not, it has to come down again and be Megulgul again. And it's the worst thing that can happen to a neshama. A neshama would rather go to Gehenna than come down on Olam Hazeh again, because it's a big risk. It's a big risk. It's a big risk to go down, to come down again. You see that most people fail. Coming down again in this world is like running across Ocean Parkway against a red light. It's a risk. So, but they keep on coming down again. So the Neshamis decided, the Yalaka said, to make a demonstration. So they all demonstrated, and they came to the Malach Duma, who is the Emunah. He's in charge of the Neshamis Bashamayim, and they said, it's no use. What does the Eibishter want from us? He keeps on sending us down, and then we spend our 70, 80, 90 years in Olam Hazeh, and we go to the basic furnace, and we go up again, and they send us down again. We go up again, they send us down again. Then we go up again, they send us down again. Mission not accomplished. It's endless. It's no use. So they made a demonstration. What's the tachlis? What do they want from us? So the Malach said, I can't answer you. I'll send you to my superior. So they went up to the higher Malach, and they demonstrated. And he said, I'll send you up above. They went to the still higher Malach, higher and higher and higher, until the Malach on top of the pyramid told them, I'll send you to the Rabbi Shalom alone. I can't answer you. So they came to the Rabbi Shalom and said, Avinu Shebashemaim, what's the tachlis? We always keep on coming down again. We're not getting places. So he said, I'll tell you what. You go down again in this world. And if you're going to do Aveirus, we'll settle. One thing I want you to do. Have Emunah. Believe. Believe that everything is done from the Rabbi Shalom. But with one condition. The Emunah should be of a higher degree, that you shouldn't you ever use the word vote. Vote means would have, could have, should have. Like for instance, if if let's say Mr. Pomerantz comes home from shul and he has a business appointment and he can make a lot of money on this appointment, and he comes home and breakfast isn't ready. So until the wife makes breakfast, he eats a hurried breakfast and he runs to the train. He misses the train and he misses his appointment, and the business deal doesn't go through. So he comes home to his wife and says, "Vote, du mir gegeben Essen and Zeit. If you would have given me breakfast in time, I would have made a lot of money. I missed the appointment." Oh, that means that doesn't have Emunah. That's a chassan and Emunah. Why? He should know that if he is going to be successful in this business endeavor or not, is bashgacha pchatis min hashemayim. Every tiny item, that anything that exists in this world, everything is bashgacha pchatis min hashemayim, with individual attention to such a degree that it's mind-boggling. No computer will ever be able to understand the hashgacha of the Rabbeinu Shalom. Like the Baal Shem Tov said, that if a piece of straw falls down from a riding wagon, it's min hashemayim b'hashgacha pratis which end of the straw, when it falls down, should fall exactly where, and which end of it should be pointing to Mizrach, and which end of it should be pointing to Ma'ariv. Everything is b'hashgacha pratis min hashemayim. There isn't anything that's not exactly the way the Rabbi Shalom dictated it should be. When I go into the grocery store and I buy a loaf of bread, it's exactly nigzam min hashemayim which kernels of wheat should go into which loaf of bread and which person should eat it. Everything is b'hashgacha pratis min hashemayim. So if somebody says, if I would have done this, I should have done this. Oh, I could have done this. I would have done this. That already is a blemish in the Emunah. That's not called Emunah Shleima. If you're supposed to be successful in a certain business endeavor, the Rabbeinu Shalom will control it that you should be successful there. And if not, you're going to miss the train, or whatever is going to happen. Everything you should know, kol ma di'ovid rachmana l'tav ovid, and say gam zu l'tayva. Everything is what it is. The Rabbeinu Shalom is my best friend. There's nobody in the world who cares for me. Not my parents, not my grandparents, not my Rabbi. Nobody in the world loves me as much and cares for me as much as the Rabbeinu Shalom does. And he provides for me since I was born. He put together a mother and a father for me, and dafke through this specific mother and father I have to be born, dafke in a certain month, dafke in a certain week, in a certain hour, in a certain moment, that it should fit to my mazel b'shamayim, because everyone has a star b'shamayim, and when it's a shlit of that star, that in a way predicts what's going to happen to him, but the prediction is also with the hashgacha pratis of the Rabbeinu Shalom. Why dafka this star? And the Rabbeinu Shalom has a special tafkid, a special mission, a special calling for each individual, and everything that happens in a person's life, everything that happens to a person in a person's day, everything that happens in a person's moment is all b'hashgacha pratis min hashemayim. So somebody who's a real maimon won't say vote, won't say should have, could have, would have. No, he doesn't say that. He's happy with what the Rabbeinu Shalom does with him, and he thanks the Rabbeinu Shalom for taking care of him and for providing for him in a certain way. You say to the Rabbeinu Shalom, I thank you, Rabbeinu Shalom, for being my babysitter. The Rabbeinu Shalom takes care of us like a mother takes care of a baby. Kagamel alei imei, kagamel alei nafshi, David HaMelech says. The Rabbeinu Shalom takes care of me like a baby in the crib, like a mother takes care of the baby, and more yet. So everything is Bashgacha Pratis Min Hashemayim. So this is what the Olaka told those Yidden that came to demonstrate, that made a demonstration. Go out to the world, don't worry. If you're going to fall through, if you're going to slip up on a banana, if you're going to fall through in a certain mitzvah, I'll overlook it. As long as you don't do it with merida, with shat nefesh, but have emunah. Emunah to the point where you should know that everything is bashkacha pratis min hashemayim. The word vote shouldn't be in your dictionary. You should know that everything is b'emunah shleima. And Pesach, which is a Yom Tov of emunah, should be a time for us, for introspection, for looking into ourselves. Do I have enough emunah? Is my emunah strong enough? Do I really believe Bashgacha Pchatis Min Hashemayim? The truth is that every Yid really believes, but does in the depths of his heart. But does that belief surface to the top? That I should consciously know that every step I take, the Eibishter prepares every step that I make, wherever I go, everything that I do, whatever I eat, whatever my panasa comes from, everything is Bashgacha Pratis Min Hashemayim. A Yid who believes in this, firstly, accomplishes what he's supposed to accomplish, and secondly, a Yid who really believes in this and he works on it until he really brings to its shleimus this emunah, with emunah shleima, will see the feirish from the Rabbi Shalom, that the Rabbi Shalom takes care of him. We daven every day, al maidim anachnu lach, al chayenu hamsurim beyadecha. Our life is in your hands, Rabbi Shalom. I thank you for being my babysitter. Maidim anachnu lach. And the more a Yid has emunah, the more a Yid, the Rabbi Shalom will show him that the emunah. There are many Yidden that can tell you stories how wonderful things happened with them, especially during the war, that they saw Bashgacha Pratis in a wonderful, miraculous way, how they were kept on one ness after the other, one ness after the other. They were saved from destruction, or from the Nazis, or from the bullets, or in the war. Though they see it, they can mamish see it. And if you somebody who has Emunah Shleima, the Rabbi Shalom will show him, you believe in me, I'll introduce myself to you, and you're going to see Hashgacha Pratis Min Hashemayim in your favor and how I take care of you. And Pesach is the time to concentrate on that and work on that and develop and fortify your Emunah. Tasher and Feilach and Pesach and Kol Tov.